What is going on YouTube? Today I'm going to teach you guys how to rig a car so you can use it in 3D animations like this. This is going to be video 1 in a 2-part video series where we go over and make a scene similar to that one. In this video today, we're going to focus on Blender, getting the car set up and rigged correctly so we can use it in Unreal Engine. In the next video, we will go over Unreal Engine, creating animations, rendering it out, and then putting it in some kind of video editing software. For that portion, I will be using After Effects. You don't need After Effects. Everything that I'm going to do in there can be done in DaVinci Resolve. It can be done in a lot of free alternatives. I just own After Effects and I'm comfortable using After Effects. I don't want you guys to think you have to use it because I'm using it. I understand it's a pretty intense program and it costs money and things like that. No, only thing we're going to be doing in there is sound design, a little color correction, and maybe splicing together some different clips from sequences. And that's going to be it. All things that can be done in DaVinci Resolve or another free alternative. Okay. So without further ado, let's just dive into this. To start us off today, we're going to download a couple programs. So right here, I'll have links below so it's easy for you to click. This is going to be the first one you need. And this is Unreal Engine's vehicle rigging add-on for Blender. And go ahead and use the direct download for the version of Blender you have. Today, I'm going to be using version 5.0. So if you're following along with me, this is the version we're going to need. In addition to that, once it's downloaded, we are also going to need this right here. This is called the one-click car control rig for Unreal Engine. It only works with version 5.4 and up. We'll be using version 5.6, but I just wanted to note that because sometimes people use earlier versions and this will not work if you are using something earlier than 5.4. This is a free plugin created by a guy named Post Process. I don't know anything about this guy. I just know this. He has a YouTube channel. I'll link it below, and he is way better than me at Unreal. So if you want to learn a couple things, definitely check him out. Thank you to him for creating this and making it free for the community. To get it, you just type in your money right here. You can put a 0 and it'll be free. If you feel like giving him a tip, you can also put that right here. It's up to you, but that is how he has it set up. Once you have both those downloaded, we're going to go ahead and launch Blender. Once you launch Blender, this is the screen you're going to be met with. Go ahead and click anywhere to get rid of that splash screen. And right away, I'm going to go ahead and delete all 3 of these items by shift clicking them and clicking the delete key. From there, we're going to install our plugin. So you're going to go up to edit, and then down to the preferences menu here. And before we start, I'm going to uninstall it just so you can see how it's done completely. All right, now that mine is gone, once you open preferences, we're going to go to get extensions. Click on this tab right here and click this down arrow in the upper right corner. From there, click install from disk. And once you click install from disk, you're going to navigate to wherever you have it downloaded to. For me, that's just under the downloads files here. You may notice right away that these are files, but none of them are zipped. I'm not sure why Blender set up this way because you want the zip file. In fact, if you try to use the unzip file, it won't work. So in order to get the zip file, you're going to click this down arrow right here and uncheck the folders. And right away, you'll have a bunch of zip files if you never delete them like I don't. So right here, this is the one we want, UE Vehicle Rigging Add-on Zip. Go ahead and click on that and click Install from Disk. And you'll see right down here, module installed in big letters so you know it worked. And then you're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and click on Add-on just to verify. And Blender's telling me right here that it's good to go. If I exit this, I can see the check mark next to it tells me it's installed and ready to go. We are now ready to get our model and bring it into Blender. So for me today, I decided to go with this model right here. I did pay $450 for this model. You don't have to use this model. You don't have to pay for a model. You can make your own. You can use a free one. You can do whatever you please. I just wanted something a little nicer, and for $450, it wasn't a big deal. So I went ahead and bought this model. It's the one you guys seen in the video already. With that said, there are some issues with it when I'm using it in this context. That's not a knock on this creator. It's just how I've chosen to use it, right? So pick whatever one you got. CG Trader has one. So does Sketchfab. There's a lot of free alternatives. I'll give links to both those below. Feel free to look around, click the free button, and see if there's something you like. When you download it, you're going to be wanting the FBX file, which I've already downloaded. So let's go ahead and import that. To import it, I'm just going to open up my file browser here. It's going to be under downloads, and it's right here, upload files, Audi R8. And that's the one I want. I'm just going to click and drag it in. From there, I'm just going to click on this animation and uncheck it. I know there's no animations on my file, but I don't know where you're getting yours or what yours comes with. So I'm just going to tell you to go ahead and uncheck that now and click import FBX. So right when you import it, this is what you're going to be met with, something similar to this. Right away, I'm going to hit Alt-A, it gives me the apply menu, and I'm going to scroll down to all transfers and click this, and it's just going to clean it up a little bit for me. Now, let's say you imported it and you clicked over here, and now you're hitting Alt-A and nothing's happening. You need to have everything selected. So just to select everything on the fly inside Blender, you're going to hit the A key, and right like that, it selects everything. You can see it all highlighted, and you can see it all highlighted over here inside my scene collection. That's how you know it's all selected. All right, after we have that, after we have it transforms, yes. After we have that done, we're going to click the Z in the gizmo here to look straight down at the car, and we want it to face the x-axis, so this red line to the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over to this right here. This gizmo right here is a rotate. See this blue circle line? That's what we're going to grab onto, and we're going to hold down control while we twist. The reason we're holding control is it makes it rotate by intervals of 5 instead of by 1, and that allows it to be much easier to get exactly the 90-degree turn, and now it's facing the correct direction. I'm going to spin down here to make sure it's kind of centered, and my car is already centered, so it's good to go. If yours isn't centered, go ahead and try to center it, although it's not the end of the world if it's not perfectly centered. All right. From there, next move is going to be, we need to take all these parts. Let me show you how many parts this car comes with. It's super overwhelming. Don't worry, you don't need to know what all these are. Really, only thing we need to know is a few very basic things. We're going to need to know where the rims are, the rubber tires, the calipers, and that's it. Everything else is going to get jammed into one giant mesh, okay? So to start us off, we're going to go through the rims and the tires. So what we want to do here is we're just going to click on this rim right here. As you can see, let me back up a little bit. Okay, we have the rim selected, and then this right here is the tire to that rim, and they're currently separated. So we're going to join them together. We're going to click on the rim, then we're going to shift click on the rubber tire, and as you can see, the rim is now orange and the tire is yellow. That's exactly what you're looking for. From there, hit Control J, and they are now one item. And we're just going to go around the car and do that for all of them. Click on the rim, shift click the tire, Control J, click on the rim, shift, ooh, see? Let me exit that one. Click on the rim, shift click the tire, Control J. And finally, one more, click on the rim, shift click the tire, Control J. And now that those are one object, and I have this one in my hierarchy here or scene collection, I can see where it is. I'm gonna go ahead and rename them, for that way I know where they are later on. So with this highlighted, I'm gonna hit F2 on my keyboard, and I'm gonna type in wheel, and this is gonna be my front left wheel. Just like that, because I'm going to need that later on. Let's click on this one right here. Circle 3 is now going to be wheel, rear left, spin around the car, wheel, right rear, and then right here, wheel, front right. Okay, that we're good with all that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way down because this is alphabetical, so I know they're at the bottom, so I named them with a W, and there's all 4 of them, and I'm just going to turn them off for now. The next thing we need to know is where the calipers are, and if you've never seen a car before or you don't know much about cars, it's that red thing right there, all right? So go ahead and click on that for me, and I'm going to need to know where all 4 of them are. So I'm going to come in here now that I have it clicked, and I'm going to find it. Boom, it's right there, and I'm just going to hide this caliper. I'll click on this one, I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to hide these 2 as well. Now, before I go on with this tutorial, I'm going to go on a little side quest real quick because I think it's something you guys are going to want. No, it is not required to do this, but I do feel a lot of you guys are going to want to know how to do this, and that is I'm going to put my name on this license plate here. And I'm going to do that right now before I join all the objects. All right. So if you're not interested in that or you don't want anything to do with that, go ahead and skip ahead to the timestamp. But if you do want to know how, let's dive into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Shift A. It's going to bring up our add menu right here. Adversely, there's an add menu right here. It's the same menu. So Shift A, and we're going to go down till we see text right there. Click on text, and it gives you this text layer, and its focal point is at the bottom letter of the T at the center of our world. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to hit the Tab key, and that's going to put us in edit mode. See up here in the corner, it says edit mode. If I hit Tab again, whoop, I click in. If I hit tab again, now I'm in object mode. Eventually, you can just click and drag down like that. So in edit mode with this blue line, it's our text line. So we're just gonna hit the backspace and start typing. So I want mine to say, well, I already made a typo, built by, and then mobs. All right, so it's obviously in the wrong place, but it's the text we want. So I'm gonna hit tab to go back to object mode, and now you can see the whole thing. Built by mode, and I need to stand it up and aim it and resize it so it's correctly for this license plate. So in order to do that, I'm going to hit N, and it's going to give me this transform menu on the right side of my screen here, and these are correlated with whatever object is selected right now. And obviously this is the selected object. So I'm going to rotate this by 90 and I'm going to rotate this by 90. And there it is. Now it's standing up correctly. And I actually don't like that it's hanging out of the corner. I want it to be on the middle part of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this back to a normal size so you can see what's going on over here. And all these right here, these are just different like tabs of windows that do different things. And we're not going to cover them all today, but we are going to go into some of them. All right. So what I'm going to do is see this A right here. That's the data properties for this text. I'm going to click on this and yours probably looks something like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into paragraph. And right here where it says alignment horizontal left, I'm going to center it here, and vertical, I'm going to make this middle. Now it's directly centered in the middle there. In addition, while I'm in here, I actually don't want it to be so thin, so it looks fine here, but if I go perfectly sideways, you can't even see it. It's super thin, right? And license plates are bumpy. They have a little curvature to them. So I'm going to go right here to the geometry and I'm going to extrude this. Not a lot, nothing crazy here. Maybe 4, that might be too much, but for this example, we'll go ahead and leave it there. All right. And that I'm pretty happy with. Now I'm going to try to size it where it needs to go, which is in the front. So I'm going to hit S. Notice my mouse is down here when I do this. And I'm just simply going to move it in. The reason I move my mouse so far away, if I'm up top trying to move it, it's much harder to control versus back here. You just glide it into about the right size you need. Let me zoom in a little bit. And it's still too big. Let's make it probably about right there. Looks right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit G, which is the grab key. And I can just move it wherever I want. And I could try to aim it. And a lot of times I will. But for the sake of doing this appropriately and correctly, I'm going to hit G. Then I'm going to hit Z. And what that does is it locks it so it can only go up and down. So I'm going to grab it and slide it up to about right there. And I don't actually think it needs to go to the side a little bit. So I'm at G, then Y, maybe over here just a little bit. Again, it's not going to be perfect. And it looks pretty good right there. But this is a 3D space, so you got to look at every angle all the time. This is still in the middle of the car. So we're going to go ahead and move that. I'm going to go to the side here, and it's right there. So I'm going to hit G, then Y. Oops. G, then X, not Y. There we go. G, then X. And we're going to bring it up to the front there, just like that. All right. And now it's pretty close, but we're still off a little bit, as you can tell. So what we're going to do here is we're going to G and then X, and we're going to back it up a little bit, somewhere about right there. And then I'm going to hit R, and I'm going to slowly rotate it, probably about that angle is good. Then G, then X one more time. And we're just going to slide it in just like that. Now let's look at the front. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, let's go ahead and say we want to add a color to it. Because right now, if I look at it, it's just going to be that color forever. And in case you're wondering what I just did, if you hold down Z, you have different menus. This is rendered out. This is a preview or material preview. And it's just to get what your car looks like. And if you could see, all the materials on this car are different than the website. And it did not come with textures. So that's something we're going to have to work around. But it's another good reason I picked this car. So to add a texture to this, I'm going to go back to solid mode for now. All we're going to do is we're going to select it right there. Now it's selected, right? And we're going to go up to shading. Click on shading for me. And if you ever like click off and you're like, oh shoot, is this still selected? You can pick it out of our menu, which is very long in my case, or you can just use this little top window here and click on it again. And now it's selected. From there, we're going to click on this bottom ball here called materials, material properties. Click on that and click new. And you're going to get this. Feel free to play around with the properties, what you guys want to do. For me, I'm just going to add a base color to it. And I'm just going to make it something obnoxious like this big bright pink here so we can see it together. And boom, there it is. And not say I'm like, well, you know, I want it to shine a little bit. That's where the metallic comes in. Let's just add that a little bit and we'll turn down roughness. You don't need to do any of this. I'm just kind of showing you options you have, right? So now it'll be more metallic. It'll reflect a little bit more, right? So now if we go back to layout, it still looks the same here because we're in solid mode. If we do Z, then we have material preview. There it is. It looks like that now. And you can see it's kind of got a little shine to it. And that is because we changed the roughness and metallic, right? So cool. We're good with that. Now, let's get back to doing our car. Our side quest is complete. Where we left off is we had everything hidden. Am I correct? Let me zoom this back out real quick. Yep, these are hidden, and so are our wheels. Obviously, they're not showing there. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But I did forget to do something with this text, and I just noticed because I scrolled down. Good thing I did. So if you notice, this has an A next to it because it's a text layer, and these all have a triangle because they're static meshes. We need to convert this. Don't worry, it's very fast. Go ahead and select it on the front of your car or right here, and then object up here. Click on object and come down to the convert menu and click mesh. That's it. Now it's a mesh and it'll be able to join with the other meshes when we get to that stage, which we're at right now. So now that everything is hidden and this is a mesh, we're going to hit A and it's going to select all. And if you notice over here, it doesn't select the layers I've turned off, and that's why I turned them off. All right. And all we're going to do now is we're going to click the hood, shift click the hood, I should say, shift click the hood. And what it does is, see, it sets the body as a primary layer. It's yellow here versus the orange on like the windshield wipers like that. And that's what we're looking for. And now we're going to hit Control J. And just like that, it's all merged together into one object named circle for some reason. So we're going to hit F2 and we're going to rename this car body. Excellent. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn that off for a second. Yep, everything is added to it. There's nothing in my scene. Turn it back on. Only things we have here are car body, our 4 calibers, and our 4 wheels. And we need all those objects. All right. So our wheels are already named. Let's go ahead and get these calibers named so we know where they are and what they do, because it is important and we are going to need them later on. So this is going to be our... well, we can do it like that. We're going to do cal, and this is going to be what? This is our rear left caliber. Or you know what? I'm going to rename that left rear. No, is it rear left or left rear? I think it's rear left. I think I was correct there. Yeah, we're doing with R's in front. Okay, and then we're going to go here. We're going to name this one cal, and it's going to be RR. Sorry, I'm struggling a little bit with naming these all of a sudden. We're going to go up here. We're going to go caliber, and this one is going to be front left. All right, and then one more, and it's going to be cal, and it's going to be front right. All right, now all of our calibers are named, our car body's named, our wheels are good to go. We're getting good with the message. We just need to add one more object to this scene, and that is going to be just a standard cube. So go ahead and hit Shift A for me to bring up the add menu. Go down to your meshes right here and just click cube. It's obviously too big, and we're going to hide it inside the car. So go ahead and hit S and scroll it way down for me. I'm going to go ahead and go to the side menu here so I can see what I'm doing. Way down, then I'm going to hit G, then Z, and I'm going to pull it up to about right there. You will never see the inside of this car, so I'd actually be okay with this. But just in case you guys are going to see the inside of your car, we're going to go ahead and hide it because, as you can see, it's big and it's right here. So I'm going to go G, then Z. I'm going to slide it inside the center console here. And honestly, that looks pretty good, but you can see it there, and I don't know what you're using your car for. So we'll just go ahead and we'll resize it a little more. I'm going to go to scale here, and I'm just going to pull this in a little bit, and then I'm going to pull this down like that, and now it should be totally tucked in there. Yep, now you can't see it whatsoever. No one will ever know it's there. Perfect. That's what we need, and we're good to go. All right, now we have everything we need to make our rig. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to click UV vehicle right here. Now, if you don't have that menu and you just skipped ahead because I pulled it out during the plate, what you're going to do is hit N, and it'll give you this little side menu here. Yours will probably open something like this. Yeah, but that's your side menu. Click on UV vehicle right there. Once you click on UV vehicle, where it says vehicle body, you're going to click the eyedropper, and you are not going to click the vehicle body. You're going to click on the cube we just made. Perfect. And the rest of these are going to be exactly as you expected. This is going to be right front, which is going to be on this side of the car. Right front goes right here. And then, you know, we're going to go right rears right there, and then left, front left, and then we're going to go rear left. Okay, cool. So those are all selected. Now, from there, we're going to go to scene setup down here, and we're going to open that up for me, and we're going to set scale or unit scale, and we're going to upscale object by 100. The reason we're doing that is the Blender and Unreal Engine use different scaling methods, so that way it's not really small inside Unreal. All right, so cool, we're good there, and we're finally ready to say rig vehicle, and you should get 5 bones out of that, which is perfect. That's exactly what we got. We have 4 bones, 1 on each wheel, and we have 1 middle bone that is actually on the cube, not on the body, but that is our root bone, and that will be our body bone later on. Okay, cool, so that looks great. As you notice in your scene collection here, it made an armature. A lot of your stuff disappeared. If you drop down, you'll see it added all this stuff right here, which is good. That's what we wanted to do. These we're going to have to manually add. It's not hard. It's not a big deal, but we are going to have to go through and do that. So when we created this, it put us in pose mode, which is cool, but we're not ready for that yet. So we're going to go back up to object mode here. And we're going to actually, you know what? We're not even going to go to object mode. We're going to tab, and we're going to go to edit mode here. All right. And in edit mode, I want you to select this right here, and that's just a bone, no big deal, but you're going to select it and make sure you're selecting the whole thing. If you notice I clicked it in the middle, that matters, because if you click it on the end, you're just going to get the end, right? So go ahead and select the bone for me, select it like this, and hit Shift D, and don't click after you hit Shift D. So Shift D, and then if you just move your mouse around, you can see you have it with you, which is just how we're going to verify that our duplicate Shift D worked. And then right click and it'll snap it back where it was. All right, so click Shift D, move it around. Yep, it's there. Right click, click, Shift D, it's there. Right click, click, Shift D, it's there. Right click. Cool. We're only going to make those 4 right now. We're going to leave the middle bone alone for now. We'll get to that in a little bit. So we made those extra 4 duplicate bones, and those are going to be attached to our calipers, but it's important they're in the exact same spot as the wheels. That's where we put them back where we were. Okay, so from there, we're now going to go back to edit mode here. Let me fix this a little bit since it looks all crazy. And we're going to open up our armature, and we're going to open up our armature again. And this right here is our root bone. And we open this up, there's all of our bones. The ones that say like 0.001, these bottom 4, these are the duplicates we just made. And we are going to rename those for our calipers. So FL is, front left. We're going to make it CFL for caliber front left and like CRL, right? So I'm going to hit shift 2 and this is going to be CFL. Okay. And this is going to be CRL, CRR, and finally CFR. Naming convention very much matters in this, so I would just follow along, but if you do make your own, make sure your vertex names are the same when we get there. Okay, so we have all those set up now. Now we need them to be underneath these bones. There's something called like a parent-child relationship in this program. We don't really got to get into that too much. What matters is these got to be underneath this bone. So in order to do that, we're going to go to the actual bone here and click on this right here. It looks like a little bone. It says bone properties, right? And then we're going to go to we're going to go to relations, and it's grayed out right now, and that may be your situation too, and that's because I forgot to change modes. No big deal. If we're in object mode, let's go to edit mode and try this, and just like that, all of a sudden it's not grayed out, right? So let's go ahead and look at those bones right here, and we want these to be under this. So CFR is going to go with FR, right? So right here, relationship, parent bone, FR. And just like that, now you can see it snapped it underneath here, and we're going to go through and we're going to do that for each one of these. So CFL right here, FL, CRL goes with RL, and CRR goes with RR. Perfect. That's exactly what we were looking to do. Now our wheels and our calipers should be good to go. Well, close enough to good to go, right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to make the last bone right there in the middle. So I'm going to go back to object mode and I'm going to click on the cube right there, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Shift S. And what I'm going to click here is going to be cursor to selected. So I currently have the cube selected and the cursor is that little thing down there. And when I click this, it's going to snap it to the center of this. Ready? Boom. See how it moved it? That's what we wanted, right? Now, what we're going to do from here is we're going to make another bone. So let's go back to edit mode. Click over here on the front, click on this front one. Oh no, you know what? I have it selected. There we go. Click off that selection, then go into edit mode. And then we're going to click on this right here. Maybe we're not going to click on this right here for some reason. Is there a reason it doesn't want to click on this? There we go. That was a little odd. I'm not sure what the issue was there. Probably because I didn't have the armature selected prior. But there we go. We got there. And now I'm going to hit Shift D again. Move this around. We now have another bone. Right click to let it snap back. Very good. And now if we go under FL right here, you will see there's a new bone, right? Which we don't want right there. So what we're going to do is while we're still in edit mode on this bone, instead of the parent of the new bone being FL, this one is going to go to our root, which is right here. Now, if I collapse these down, you will see it's under root. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to rename this body. All right. Now our bones are good to go as far as this part goes. And let's go ahead and get out of here. I like to click on open all of these and just verify everything's good. FRs with CFR. Yep. All right, cool. They're all exactly where they're supposed to be. And let me collapse them all back to how they want to be. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead. Let me close this down. We need to fix this right here. You see this group? That's what needs to get fixed because there's nothing going on with them. It didn't automatically pull them in, but that's okay. It's a pretty easy fix. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on Cal FL, the mesh here, the triangle's the mesh. We're going to click on the mesh and we're going to come down to this green triangle right here. It says data object property data or object data properties. And you can make a vertex group right here. Okay. Try to stay with me for this part, okay? So since I have Cal FL selected here in object mode, you can see it's highlighted right there, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit tab to go to edit mode, and then we're going to hit A, and it's going to select every vertex on that caliber, okay? Now we're going to come to this right here, vertex groups plus sign. This is, again, under the data. Click on this for me, and now we're going to double click and rename this. This is where the naming matters. This needs to be named CFL because that is the name of the caliber bone. That's when I said naming matters. This is where it matters. It's the exact same name as it is up there. So now I'm going to click assign. Great. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to tab out. That one is good to go. So if you can't remember the names, you can just keep these open the whole time that you want. I will just for the sake of you guys learning, right? So we know CFL is now good to go. Now we're going to go to Cal FR, which is this one right here. Again, once we have it selected, we're going to hit tab into edit mode. A selects all the vertices inside the vertex group. We're going to hit the plus sign, double click this, and we're going to rename this one. And this is going to be CR or FR, just like that. And we're going to click assign again. Very good. Get out of that. Tab back into object mode. Next one down the list, Cal. Tab again, back to edit mode, A to select all the vertices, plus sign under vertex, double click CRL, very good, good to go. Oh, didn't click assign, exit out of there. And then one final one right here, we have it selected. We're gonna hit tab, A to select all the vertices, open up a new vertex group, and this one would be CRR. Again, we're gonna click assign. If you don't click assign, we're not doing anything. So you must click assign. All right. And then we're going to hit that. And finally, the big one, the car itself, the body here, we're going to select it and we're going to hit tab and you're going to see a ton of dots now that we're using a big object. Hit A to select all those dots. There they all are. We're going to put the plus sign. This group is going to be named body because that is what we named the last bone we created, body, and it's going to be a sign. Okay, cool. Now we're almost out of the woods, boys. From here, what we need to do is all of these are very close to being done, but they need to have modifiers. So if we come, see how these ones are separate? Let me just show you, like obviously they're separated. These ones right here need modifiers. So we're gonna come to this little wrench right here on the right side, click on that, add modifier, deform, armature. And then I'm gonna just click armature and vertex group. It already knows which one you're looking for, CFL. Very good. Next, and we're just gonna rinse and repeat. Next caliber, deform, armature, CFR. All right, and just go down the list and add all of these really quickly here. And you don't need to do the ones that are inside the armature. Those ones will already have it, and I'll show you that here once I'm done. One final thing, just real quick. It should be checked automatically, but you need vertex groups checked if it doesn't have it, all right? And okay, cool. So now all 5 of these have been assigned. And if I open this, let me close this down, you'll see all these already have an armature assigned. I don't have to manually do this because it auto found it, okay? So we're just gonna leave these ones all alone. The ones that didn't have it, we're gonna add there, right? And finally, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these all under my armature, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and go like this, shift click all. Right now, if I click parent, it's going to put it under body. I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to armature. I'm going to control left click. Now this is the focus, right? And then I'm going to hit control P and set to parent object. Yep. Boom. And just like that, now they're all under my armature and we should be good to go. But what we're going to do is we're going to verify. So now that that's done, click the armature. Over here, where it's object and edit, we're going to go into pose mode. Pose mode will only show up if you have an armature selected. So if you're over here clicking on other things and it doesn't show up, that's why. Okay. So go into pose mode, and now you're going to click and drag on each one of these bones to make sure it does what it's supposed to do. Okay. So let's just go ahead and open them all up here. So right away, the body, if I hit G, should pull the body, and it does. But we have an issue. Look where it's located, which makes me wonder what snapped to middle. Because this should be in the center, so our whole rig's going to be broken. I'm going to have to go back and fix that, but we'll worry about that in 1 second. That one pulls the caliber, perfect. Control Z to pull them back. That one pulls the wheel and caliber, exactly what I want. Caliber, wheel and caliber, caliber, wheel and caliber, and then caliber, wheel and caliber. Okay, so truly, when I was talking, I don't know how I managed to make this mistake, but it's not one we can leave. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go to edit mode. I'm going to select that bone right there. Now I know it's selected. It's yellow. It's highlighted there. I'm in edit mode. I'm going to hit Shift S. Oop, that was a little different. Shift S, and I'm going to selection to cursor. Maybe I just forgot to click this. Boom. It should pull it right there to the middle. That's what we want. Now let's go back to pose mode here. G. Oh, let's make sure we have it selected. Yes, we do. Hit G and it should pull it all up, and it's exactly where it's supposed to be. So we are good to go. We're done with Blender. Let's go ahead and move over to Unreal. Actually, real quick, there's something I need to cover. Without you guys getting lost in the sauce, there's something in Blender called Backface culling. So this car looks good, right? It's good to go. It's because Blender is smart enough to make materials on 2 sides. I'm not sure how else to describe it to you. So watch when I click on this. Boom. You can now see inside my car everywhere. It's all broken and messed up. That is what it's going to look like inside Unreal. Now, I'm going to show you real quick a couple of things you can do to help fix this, but I just want you to know this car, it won't fix it. Like I've tried, right? So this is another option right here. If we go face orientation, see how it's red? Red equals bad. We don't like red, right? So what we're going to do real quick, we're going to go to object mode. We're just going to go, what's it called? We're going to select whatever we want to select. For me, it's going to be the car body here. And then I'm going to go edit mode right there, hit A. So I have it all selected, right? And then I'm going to hit Alt N. It's going to bring up this menu here. And you can hit flip or recalculate outside. Both could get you there. I know neither one's going to work for this car, right? So if I try to flip this, it's still going to have some red on it, but it does make it a little bit better. See how it's a little bit better there. And then all these wheels and stuff, you could go through and do them all. And truly you should. And people that do this for a living are going to tell you, you need to fix that. They're right. What we are doing is a 30-second animation. It's not going in a video game. It's not going to mess up lighting and shadows and all these other things people are worried about that do this professionally. So we're not going to fix it. I'm just going to show you a quick workaround in Unreal, which is called a two-sided material. And I know people are like, don't do that. It's going to be okay in this use case. I don't want people that do this for real to rip my head off. So I just wanted to cover that. If you can flip yours, go ahead and go through and, click on them. Like say I want to do this wheel next. Let's go wheel right there. It's this one. I would simply click it. Again, hit tab to edit mode. Select all with A, then Alt N, and I'm just going to flip it, right? But again, I've done this with this car. I went through each piece individually and tried to flip them all. It's never going to be right. I'm just going to move it along and show you guys what else your alternatives are. All right. But that way it's at least covered and people don't come after me. So cool. We're good to go. I'm going to get over to Unreal. Let's go ahead and hit file here, export. We want the FBX file here. So I'm going to click on that. This car is going to look like shit, to be honest with you. It didn't come with textures, so I'm just gonna make some in Unreal. They're not gonna be crazy. They're good enough for this. I made the ones in the last car you've seen, and people like that, or like the little demo video you've seen, and people like that. So I'm not too worried about it. Let me close all this down here. Well, I don't like doing it that way. I like to do it this way. Really, all you do is armature, mesh, and other. I'm a weirdo. I always click selected objects and I highlight everything I want. Doesn't matter? No. Do I do it every time? Yes. So go ahead and click on this, just like this, armature, mesh, other. Under transforms, forward is the x-axis. Remember, we rotated the car. And up is the z-axis. We want both of those. Geometry, we want modifiers to come. Very good. Armature, we don't want leaf bones, and we don't want any animations. Go ahead and save it where you're going to find it. For me, I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm going to name this car.fbx. Perfect. I'm going to export. And I will see you guys in Unreal. I know I said it's you in Unreal, but I probably should go through setup, right? So for this, I'm going to be using 5.6. So I'm just going to click launch on 5.6 here. And I actually, for the first time, I'm not going to launch a game file. I'm going to launch a film file. And somebody somewhere that watches my videos will be happy about that. But first time you launch Unreal, it may take a second. Don't worry, that's totally normal. As you use your computer throughout the day and use it more and more, it loads faster and faster. Don't be discouraged. All right, once your Unreal loads, you'll be met with this splash screen, and you're going to pick a subcategory on the left here. Today, I'm going to use film, video, and live events, like I said, instead of games for once. We're going to click this. We're going to click blank, and I'm just going to name this whatever I want to name it. This is going to be car scene for me. You can name yours whatever you want. What I do want to note is project location. Make sure you know where this is because you are going to need to access that in about 5 seconds. So go ahead and do this and click create, and I will see you when it loads. All right, when you first launch Unreal, this is what you should be met with right here. Yours may look a little different. Your outliner is probably over here somewhere if you've never used it, something like that. I just prefer to have it on my left side here, so I drag it over here and keep it on the side just like this. The only other difference you're probably running into for mine is your content browser isn't there, so yours probably looks more like this. If you hit control space, you can bring it right up and click dock to layout, and it'll stay up just like mine is. Now, let's go ahead and dive into what needs to happen here. So we're going to go ahead and open our files here, and you're going to find your Unreal plugin, the second one we downloaded. We only use first one. This is the one we used already, Unreal Engine Rigging right here. I know it's a little messy, and here's my downloads file. This one right here, UE_rig. This is the one we need now, and we are going to unzip this. So go ahead and unzip it and save it wherever you want. For me, it's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Open up UE_rig, and this file right here, plugins. We're going to right click and we're going to copy. Well, first off, let me select it. We're going to copy this and we're going to put it inside our file for our our Unreal project here. Copy. And now what I want you to do, if you don't know where you saved it, see where it says main right here? You should say main right there as well. You can just right click this and you can simply go show and explore. And when you show and explore, it's going to jump you to the contents of this project, but we don't want the contents folder. You can see right there, we actually want the entire project folder. So go back one. So now I'm in the entire project folder, and you can tell because right here, if I double click this, it'll launch the project. Right click and hit paste and put your plugins tabs there. Perfect. From there, I need you to go up to edit. I need you to go to plugins, and I need you to make sure a couple plugins are available in there. Go to type in module, and you're looking for control rig modules. Check it if it's unchecked. Mine is automatically checked. I assume that is for everybody's, but just to make sure. And then we're also going to make sure skeleton's there. I totally don't know why, but it needs to be there. Again, check it if it's unchecked. You will be prompted to restart. Once you make sure both of those are there, go ahead and click restart on your Unreal Engine. I'm going to restart mine as well because the plugin we need that I just put there, that folder, that is only going to show up if we restart it ourselves. So everybody go ahead and restart, and I will see you when mine restarts. All right, mine just restarted, so we're good to go. I don't know what this update is. We're just going to click yes on that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to edit, we're going to go to plugins, and we're going to type in module again. And what we are looking for is the vehicle module, vehicle rig module right here. Checked. That is the one we dropped the input file, I'm sorry, we put in. That is this right here. Mine's checked. Perfect. If it's not checked, check it. That's the thing we're actually going to be using. That's what we want. Perfect. We are now good to go. So at this point, we're ready to bring in our FBX. And to do that, I'm actually going to make a folder for it because it's going to bring with a lot of stuff, right? So right here on this content browser, I'm just going to right click in the open and go up the new folder. And I'm just going to name mine Audi because that's what I'm using, right? Is an Audi. So right there. And then I'm going to double click the open Audi and drag files here. Yep. Sounds great. I'm just going to open up my browser down here, desktop, maybe desktop, and I'm going to scroll down. I can't remember what I named it. I know it's not Audi because that car, that's the name of it. And we're just going to drag it in just like this. Give it a second to get through this. All right, once that loads, you're going to be met with this screen. You don't need to do anything. Default is fine. Just click import. And in the lower right, you're going to see importing. Once that is done, you're going to have a whole bunch of things populate right here. And I'll see you when that happens. Okay, so mine had just finished. And like I said, it's a whole bunch of things. And in case you see these little stars, if you're wondering what that is, that's Unreal telling you, hey, this isn't saved if your project crashes right now. So if you just click save, it should get rid of those. JK, let's go save all and it'll get rid of those. There we go. Okay, so now all these little stars are gonna go away. And I just wanted to show you guys right away how broken this car is. Remember I said it was gonna be broken when we brought it in? This is it right here, the skeletal mesh. That's what we're searching for if you have a bunch of stuff like I do. It's gonna be this one right here. And if I just drag it in here, you're going to get close to it. You're going to see like it's not too broken because I flipped the outside, but even with it flipped, you can see through the bottom of it and stuff. Like it's jacked up. I can just see through it. It's not good. There's a lot of issues with it, but that's fine. I'm going to show you a quick way to fix it. Like I said, if you're making a video game, don't do this. It's going to mess it up. But for this, what we're doing, it's really not going to be a big deal here. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that for right now. So what we need to do is we actually need to go into the skeletal mesh. So I'm going to double click the skeletal mesh. Let's do the important stuff. It's going to prompt this, and we're going to drag this and put it right here because I just like tabs. In fact, I'm going to be using this for a while. I'm going to make it all tabs. I'm going to go edit, editor preferences right here. And then right here where it says default editor location, my head's in the way. My head's always in the way when I do these. Right here where it says editor default, I'm going to go ahead and click this default down to last docked window / main window. And that'll make it sort of always tabs open like this. And you can just click and drag them if you need to. All right. So what I need you to check here is your bones. When you open up the skeletal mesh, what you're going to see is all your bones listed right here. And we need to make sure they're working correctly. If any of them are kind of grayed out right now, that means it's empty. There's nothing assigned to it. So that's going to be an issue. So what we're going to do to check them is I'm just going to kind of go down the list. Like this is the body one. I'm going to hit, W, and I'm just going to pull it up. Yep, it's pulling up the body. Perfect. Z to go back. Let's check all the tires here. To move in this area, you're going to hold down right click and WASD to zip around. All right. So we're just going to hit rotate. Yep, it's rotating the tire there. Perfect. The caliber. Let's make sure the caliber is working here. Yep, caliber works. And then let's go back here to this one. Okay, I'll do it this way then, I guess. What am I? I am on the left side. So we're going to go to rear left right here. Wheel rotates. Perfect. And this rotates just the caliber. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's go over here. Let's go to the other front. That was front right is right there. Turning works. Yep. Okay. And then we're going to go to caliber. These should all work, but good practice. I'm going to check them all just to, do my due diligence here. Yes, that works. And finally, that works as well. I will fix the way this thing looks, like you can see through it right there in a little bit, but this is a priority because if this doesn't work, it doesn't matter how cool it looks. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, that does seem to be working. Now, let's go ahead and go to the next step, shall we? And a couple things, just real quick. if your body right here says body 1, which has happened to me before, that's not going to work. You need to say just the word body. So to edit that name, right here where it's the skeleton, if you click on this up here and go edit skeleton, it may take a second to load, kind of like mine is hemorrhaging my entire computer right now. Okay, under skeleton, you're going to change that name, right? So body is right here. You're just going to come over here where it says details right there, and you're just going to type in a new name, and the name needs to be body, and save it, because sometimes it comes as body 1 or whatever, and just click accept down there. All right, so that's how you go ahead and do that. We're not going to do anything with this though, because we're happy with how ours looks. And now we're going to do from here is see where's the skeletal mesh again. This time we're going to right click on that, and you're going to go up to create here, and you're going to click on modular rig, and go ahead and click that for me, and it's going to generate a modular rig somewhere. Mine's all the way down here. Right there is going to be where mine is. So go ahead and click on this, and it's going to open up to this screen right here. And this is what we wanted to see. There's a bunch of options here. Again, we're just going to kind of push through them all. What you're going to look for is right down here, the one that says vehicle right there. Click on that and just drag it onto this middle one right here and let go for me. And the whole car is going to come apart. Don't worry, that's okay. Yours may look a little different, but still, don't worry, that's okay. All right, now let me move my head back up here so it's out of the way for this process. So right away, I want these both to be assigned to root. So this one is assigned to body, no big deal. I'm just gonna click on this and I'm gonna click root. Even though it's grayed out, it'll assign just fine. Perfect. Now, when you click on these options right here, you're going to get different options over here in your details panel. As I've said before, the way Unreal works is essentially whatever you click on, this is the options to edit it, or what the options, how you can edit it are, right? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go on the vehicle, click on vehicle, and you see all these here, they all do different things. The two I want you to focus on are these two right here, body height and ground adjustment. So first we're going to do ground adjustment. I'm just going to simply drag down for a while, and I'm just going to try to get the tires on the ground is essentially what I'm doing, right? So I've done this one before, so I kind of know where it needs to be. Also, if you're trying to do this, you're like, I just can't get it right. If you just right click and roll your middle mouse wheel backwards, you can see this little number changing. That is actually the camera speed. So now I can get lower a lot easier. So I've done this car before, so I know it's right around 57, and 57 right there looks pretty solid to me. And then from there, that's ground adjustment. The next one is body height. So again, we're going to roll it back down here, and we're just going to try to make it look about right. Like that's way too far. That's too far. 34 is almost right. So let's just try 40. Let's see how that looks. That looks like it's going to sit pretty well. I'm going to have to change the texture to really see it. So I might come back in here and end up adjusting it again. That was 35. Look, 35 is too high. 38. Let's just try. We'll just stick to 40 for now. And we'll just edit it later once we get our textures figured out. That's essentially how it works, right? Now, I'm going to double check that these wheels are on the ground here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to pull this tab open over here so I can see it, and I can make adjustments on the ground adjustment. And I'm going to grab the control rig from my content drawer here, and I'm going to drag it into my scene. And the reason I'm doing this is it's just because it's on the ground here. It may not be on the ground out here, and that will matter, obviously, when you're making these. Again, I'm going too fast. I'm going to scroll down to make my mouse go slower. And I'm just going to take a little peek down here. And I think this is pretty good. Now, mind you, my wheels are jacked up currently, so it's a little hard to tell, but overall, I think we're going to be all right with that. I think it's good to go. I'm going to leave it right where it is. Let me come back to this real quick. I'm going to hit compile and save on it. And now I'm going to show you how the rig actually works. So the way this rig works is pretty simple. You have these control modules here. This one right here, if I click on the arrow and I hit W for this gizmo and I turn to the left, it's going to pull my wheels to the left here. And it's kind of hard to see because this is messed up, but it's pulling them to the left versus the right. You can see them there. It's turning the front axle. So you just adjust it as much as you want. And then this right here, this arrow makes you go forward and backwards. So if I pull it forward, my wheels are spinning forward. If I pull it backwards, the wheels are spinning backwards. And you dictate at what speed that happens at. So that's kind of how it works. It just continually spin. Finally, this one up here is body roll. So, you make a hard turn, the body would technically shift the other direction from inertia. And that's what this does. It just tilts a little bit left to right. And that's essentially how it's going to work. And that is what we're going to use. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to fix my materials because it kind of just bugs me looking at this. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do to fix them is going to be a little ghetto, but it will work for this. So don't get too alarmed. I don't need this in my scene currently. So I'm just going to go ahead and click delete on this. And it's going to delete all kinds of stuff because it gave me a sequencer and everything, which I don't even want the sequencer. So I'm going to delete that as well. In case you're wondering, it was right here. Seed level sequencer. I just hit delete key and it went away. Okay. So to fix them, what we're going to do is we're a skeletal mesh here. I'm going to double click on this again, open it back up at the top here. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix them. And I'm going to do a couple major ones because there's a ton of them. And then I'm just going to fix them all and we'll reconvene because this is going to be a taste preference thing. So what I'm going to fix first is this one called car paint, the black here. So I'm going to go and double click on that and it's going to open it up. And if you want to learn how to make real materials, there's a ton of options in here. You can right click and get all into it. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to delete all of this right here. And I'm going to do these very, very basic. All right. So for this one, I think we're going to do an orange car because, well, I did white in the last one. So something like that. If you want it darker, we can go over here somewhere, probably right around there will be okay. Maybe it's too dark. And then I want it to shine a lot. I'm going to go and hit 1 on this and I'm going to hit 0.1 on, not on this. I'm going to hit 0.1 on roughness here, just like that. And you see how shiny it is? Now I've hit apply and I come back to my car. That's the color of my car now. Go ahead and check it out. Already it's looking a lot better. And oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the most important thing inside the material. Okay, and this is for every single material. If your car is broken like mine is, where you can kind of like see through it, like there's no back rim right now, right? It's kind of just a little janky. I can see the ground right there. Every single material, we're just going to click two-sided. Now, like I said, the reason people say don't do that, it's more intensive. It messes with lighting and shadows and all that. We're not making a video game. We're making a 30-second animation. So don't even worry about that. All right, so we're good there. That one looks a lot better. Like I said, I'm only going to touch on major ones, then I'll fix them all and we'll reconvene. The only other one I really want to talk about with you guys is the glass, because obviously glass is a little bit different. I don't know where it is in here, so we're just going to take a look together. Plastic. I'm just looking for the word glass, basically. I didn't make these. Glass 2. I've used this once, so I don't think glass 2 is it because that's white. So I bet it's glass 1 right here. We're going to double click this and we're just going to delete all these again. And this time where it says blend mode, I'm going to make this one translucent because it's supposed to be glass, right? And I'm going to make it very dark, but not black, just a little bit shy of black, right about there. And honestly, I do this with almost everything that is supposed to be black on a car because true black is super dark. You can't see anything reflecting off it, right? So I just make it a little bit less for that way you can kind of see stuff. All right. So right there's probably going to be good, right? Opacity on it is 0 right now. I'm going to do 9.5. Oops. Let's just, hello. Is it going to respond to me? There we go. Let's go 0.95. I should say this. I didn't say this at all. Where I keep going from like 0.1 to 1 or 0.95, the range is 0 to 1. Anything over 1 doesn't matter. So you're just playing in that area. So 0.9, now I can kind of see through, right? Click apply, save, and let's go ahead and look how this looks. And now my glass looks a lot better as well. Let's slow that camera back down a little bit. But look at that. We're already looking like a much cooler car. Again, I totally forgot to do it. This is going to be two-sided. They all need to be two-sided for this vehicle. You may not have that issue, but I just want to approach it in case you guys do. Now I'm going to go through and do every single one of these. I'm going to pick them, make them look cool. And basically they're either going to be a solid or they're going to be translucent. And that's going to be it. It's going to be your choice at that point. The only thing I can't change. Oh, I can change it. Cool. Right here. I made a material for this and now I can change it. Excellent. So I'm going to fast forward to this part and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I am done with my car. I think it looks much, much better now. Again, the only things I did, just to recap here, is to go through them all. And I just skipped the ones that like I knew you weren't going to see. You'll never see the inside of this car, so I don't really care if it's broken. Let's see if I can go in there. Yeah, it looks like crap in here, but that's all right because you're never going to see it. So the big ones I want to point out to you guys is like this color paint here that I picked. It's very simple. I just picked this. Metallic is all the way up and roughness is at 0.1 to give it that crazy shine right there. And then anything like with glass, like the windows here, I changed those if I can find a glass here to translucent, which I know I covered, but just a little heads up for you guys. Here we go. Glass 2 will be the same thing. Glass 2. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did make it translucent. Yeah, I changed it down to your blend to translucent here. Okay, and that's good to go. And that's pretty much all I did. I just went through and it's just you pick the ones you want and make them nice. I did the same thing with the glass that goes over the lights here because you're not going to really see them. And I think the game came together really good. I'm sure you've seen this happen a lot in the fast forward. What I'm doing is I'm just isolating that layer. I'm like, what is this? A red R logo? Okay, well, I want to make sure that's right because you are going to see that, like stuff like that, right? But other ones, I'm like, oh, what is this? Like this one's steering wheel. I just moved along. I don't care about the steering wheel next. So just an idea of how I went around and do it. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. My car is ready. Hopefully yours is too. Hopefully you didn't have to deal with any of this, but on the off chance you did, there you go. That's kind of how you handle it. And we are ready to go and start building our world and start rigging. And we're going to do that in the next video. Take it easy.